To start farming cabbage and wheat, we first need a wheat seed and cabbage seeds, which are indicated on the map by these icons. We also need a hoe to make farm fields, and we need a scythe to harvest the crops. So to make a hoe, we come to the workbench over here. We press E to open the workbench, and if we hover over the hoe, we can see that we need 3 planks and 1 iron ingot. So we already have the planks, we just need some iron ingots. We come over here, we grab some iron ingots, we come to our workbench, open our workbench, we make sure that the iron ingots are in the inventory, and we order a 1 hoe. This will be done in 30 seconds. When the hoe is ready, it will go into the inventory of the workbench. We can simply left click and that will transport it from the inventory to our player's inventory. We can then escape out, press 1 to equip our hoe, and if we come to an area where we want to have our farm fields, we can press B to open the build menu, and in the build menu we go to the farm category. In the farm category we can see the tilled field, and the tilled field will require a hoe and 10 branches. So we have 20 branches, which means we can make 2 tilled fields. So we left click on the tilled field. That will put the blueprint of the tilled field underneath our mouse cursor. If we hold down the right mouse button, we can change the orientation of the field. And I want my fields to be oriented like this along the walls. So we place it close to the walls over here. Left click to confirm. That will place the blueprint. And with our hoe out, we walk towards the tilled field and we can see that it says 10 branches required and it needs to be built with a hoe. So we left click and that will start building the farm field. To build our second field, we can simply press a B to open the build menu again and select the tilled field. And if we set it next to the existing tilled field, we can see that it snaps next to it. So we simply left click and that will place it. We then can hold down the left mouse button to till the field. Now, another thing we need before we can start growing crops is a well. So if we press a B to open the build menu and we go to the well category, we can see that for a shallow well, we need 5 planks and 4 animal fat. So we grab 5 planks and 5 animal fat, and we grab a hammer. We make sure that our well is close to our farm field, so we press B to open the build menu. In the well category, we select the shallow well. This will put, as usual, the blueprint underneath our mouse cursor. We place it very close to our farm fields. Left click to place it, and we walk up to it. And when we are close to it, we can see we need 5 planks and 4 animal fat, and it needs to be built with a hammer. So we equip the hammer. And with our hammer out, we left click to hammer in the planks and the animal fat. Now that the well is ready, we can press E to open it up, and we can see that in the inventory is no water yet, but over time it will get 2 buckets of water into the shallow well. So in the meantime, while we wait for water, we go grab our seeds. So we grab cabbage seeds by right-clicking on the stacks of cabbage seeds, which will transfer an entire stack at a time. And from the other chest, we grab wheat seeds. Press tab to go into our inventory. Click on the wheat seeds, which will equip it into our right hand. We can press 1, and then in the top left, we can see that we have wheat seeds equipped. We stand on our tilled field, and if we zoom in, we can left-click, and that will start seeding the wheat, and we can see that there is 1 wheat plant over here. If we left click again, we get another one. A tilled field at maximum can have 20 seedlings. So with 20 wheat planted, we press tab to open our inventory. We swap out the wheat for the cabbage. Come to the other tilled field over here, press 1 to make sure that we have the cabbage seed equipped, and we start planting or seeding our cabbages. Right now, our cabbages and our wheat will not grow, and that is because we haven't watered the field. So we come to the shallow well over here, press E to open it up, and we can see in the inventory of the shallow well, we have 2 buckets of water now. And when we left click on the bucket of water, it will go into our hands. And if we stand on the tilled field, we can simply press a left click, and that will throw the water over the field. As we can see, not the entire field is watered as of yet, but we'll water both the fields. So we come to the shallow well, grab the water bucket, walk to the cabbage field, and a left click to throw more water over this one. At maximum, a tilled field can have 3 buckets of water thrown over it, and then you'll have to wait till it uses up that water. Over the course of your growing progress of your wheat and your cabbage, you have to occasionally re-water the fields. So keep an eye on the fields. If they look parched, you grab another bucket of water and throw it over the fields. To speed up the growth of our crops on our fields, we can use fertilizer. To make fertilizer, we need the animal crafting. The animal crafting can be found in the build menu. So if we press a B to open the build menu and we go to the workshop category, we can see that there is a animal crafting building. If we build that and we press E to open its inventory, we can see that the second option is making fertilizer. And to make fertilizer, we need 1 animal dung, which we can get from horses, and 5 ashes, which is a byproduct of our fire pits, our hearths, and our ovens. We make sure that we have ash and animal shite inside the inventory of the animal crafting, and we can simply left click, and that will start making a bag of fertilizer. When the fertilizer has been produced, it will go into the inventory of the animal crafting building, and to grab it, we simply left click on it. That will put it into our own inventory. Tab out, press 1 to equip the bag of fertilizer, and if we go to one of our tilled fields, we can use the left mouse button to spread the fertilizer. And if we zoom in, we can see that the fertilizer is spread over the tilled field. To harvest the crops that are growing, we need a scythe. So if we open up our workbench by pressing E and we hover over the scythe, we see that we need a 1 iron ingot and 3 planks. So we'll bring 1 iron ingot, we'll grab 3 planks. Come back to the workbench, press E to open it up, put the planks in and the iron ingot, and we can order the scythe simply by left clicking on the scythe icon. That will go into the production queue, and it will take 30 seconds for it to produce. When the scythe production is finished, it will go into the inventory of the workbench. On the right side, we can simply left click, and that will transport it from the inventory to our inventory. Now that our cabbages and our wheat are ready, we can finally equip our scythe. So we click on our scythe, so it goes into our right-hand slot. We press tab to go out of our inventory. We press 1 to equip our scythe. And if we stand on our field over here, we simply press the left mouse button, and that will start gathering wheat sheaves. So if we now press tab to open our inventory, we can see that we have 1 wheat seed, which we got from the harvesting the wheat, and a wheat sheaf, which is a bundle of wheat. So we farm the entire field simply by holding down the left mouse button. Now that we farmed the entire field, if we press tab, we can see that we have 20 wheat sheaves, but that we only have 8 wheat seeds. You don't necessarily get 1 wheat seed per wheat sheaf that you harvest. So it is an RNG thing. You might end up with way less wheat seeds than you needed to reseed the entire field. For the cabbages, it is the same. They are ready to be harvested. We have our scythe out, and we simply left click. And if we now press tab, we can see that we got a cabbage seed and a cabbage. Here, the same as with the wheat, we can hold down the left mouse button to keep harvesting, and not every harvested cabbage will give us 1 cabbage seed. Now that we harvested the entire field, if we press tab, we can see that our luck was a bit more with us with our cabbage, because we have 9 cabbage seeds, but it's still not even half of what we need to replant an entire field. We grab 10 cabbage Ooh, is it 10? I don't know. I think it is 10. We need more wheat seeds. 20? We'll see.